I am telling you, a color conscious. In 1929, this book was written. It is 2016. We still experience some of the same things that have gone on in this book that this man, this wonderful, beautiful man, Wallace Thurman, wrote about in this book called The Blacker the Berry, right? You've heard the saying, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So, in comparison to Emma Lou, my juice is not that sweet. And I'm conscious of that every day. There's a lot to say about this book. There's so much to be said, so much to talk about, so much to want to know. And there's been so many forums. People have gotten around round tables, square tables, on stage, discussing the black and white issue here in America, the black and black issue here in America, the issues with people, and all sorts of hues and races, and it's been discussed to death sometime, and we still can't get it together. So, what do? We get out of the world, look back, try to figure out how to not allow such hatred to inculcate our spirit, and learn how to love. That Martin Luther King book, he's such a brilliant literary mind, and then spiritual on top of it. That was the best book that I've read since the Bible. And that's a book that I will go back to time and time again. Not this book. This book is good. And some of the language, some of the not language, some of the words, because this is written in 1929, I was like, what? What is that? I've never heard of that word. I've never seen that word. But just talking about getting to this point where everything is so color conscious, and knowing that there's this hate that lies between black people because of the slave mentality that was, heaped on a people. And this is not their faults at all. This is not our faults at all. This is not your fault at all. If you are black and you are watching this, this is not your fault at all. Never faulted anybody black for having these issues. It's just, what do we need to do to get away from this issue? How do we love ourselves back to ourselves so that we can live together? A lot of us are doing it more often than not. The thing is, we don't give ourselves enough credit for overcoming so much. That's what I would rather come away from this book. Just like when I read, can't even think of the book now, but there was another book I read, and I'm thinking, instead of thinking about all the bad things that have happened, give ourselves the credit for all the beauty that we've made happen by overcoming, by rising up, by not taking it, even in little ways. If you weren't there in a march in the 60s, if you do not let people tell little nasty, snide racial remarks and jokes and stuff, and you don't become a part of that, and you love your neighbor, no matter what color they are, and you're doing something. You hear that? That's thunder shaking my vases in my room. It makes me want to move to another country. And I'm not talking about the thunder outside. I'm talking about the storm that's brewing right here in America if we don't take care of one another. What has America done to us? Not just black people, but white people, and every other race that lives here in the United States that have to deal with the white and black issue, and who are tired of hearing about the black and white issue. Why come white and black people, can they just get along after an oppressor goes unpunished? After the oppressor is still oppressing the oppressed, no matter who's in office? Is racism color conscious? Does it all still exist? Well, I just read An Officer of the Law. It really made me scared. I'm not going to say broke my heart, because it really made me scared. And it really made me think about my neighbor, even my friends, my fellow countrymen. When that officer said he loves a happy ending, when the young man from Black Lives Matter committed suicide, I thought, this is it. As I've thought so many times before, it's going to get worse. We are in a race war. If we allow it, we are in a race war. So why do it amongst ourselves? Why do it amongst ourselves? Why? It's called slave mentality. And slave mentality is not just being written by black authors, but white authors alike have slave mentality from the oppressor's side. And they always have to sneak in that one character, that two character, that token. Yeah, that makes the Emmalus of this world think that they are in need of some good black people. Man, she got on my nerves with that in this book. But what was done to her definitely got on my nerves. And I understand where she's coming from. I understand why she is the way she is, so color conscious. Because it's real. It happened. But it happened to all black people. And those who were privileged and cooking instead of picking, you're still a slave. You still had to use the colored only bathrooms in the Jim Crow South. You still are the ones getting beat and cannot breathe. Tick, 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 boom. I don't want that to happen.